I thought you said you don't have any.
That's exactly what but I had one.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. That'll work. Good one. Yeah, now I'm good. Thanks. Like, there's literally like a giant fucking hole in me.
Your purpose could literally just be the exact same one you had, just minus the guarantee that you're going to be revered as some god or something.
That was never what it was about. It was about pleasing the universe.
Oh, I thought it was reaching out to a bunch of people.
No, because I don't. That's why this is. If that was it, then this wouldn't be a problem.
Okay, but the surface you made, like the details I saw, it was that.
Yeah.
It included that. So basically, somehow you're collectively getting all these people to hear and experience your expression, right? And somehow that had to do with the universe as a third party that's watching like a fucking cuck.
Yes, yeah.
What the fuck is that? What is that? What does that even fucking mean?
Dude, you should just be grateful you don't have this shit. You have no idea. Like, this was given to me. I didn't ask for this. I didn't choose this. They're just like, hey, if you do good things, the person up there will love you, and their love is the best. Nobody else loves you like they love you, which is all I ever wanted, because my parents didn't like me. They didn't fucking care about me, or at least they didn't show it, whatever. All I wanted was to be loved my whole fucking life. And so I just fucking... I'm just fucking stupid. I'm so stupid fucking idiot.
What are you talking about?
The truth is, like, unlike you, I really genuinely don't believe that I have anything to offer anybody, and if anybody finds any value in me, it's something I've fabricated and tricked them into liking me for. Because the truth is, I'm just a whiny brat. Like, I really am. Like, I'm just whiny. I don't give a fuck about anything. I'm just trying to fucking smoke, you know what I mean? I'm just fucking, like, I'm just a fucking... I'm nothing.
Wow, it just comes to this.
That's just how I really feel. I don't want to feel that way. I don't like feeling that way. Do you think I want that? I would love to just be like you and just like enjoy what we're doing. Just like enjoy life. Like, it's so fucking awesome. Like, you know how fucked up it is for me to know that it's awesome and it doesn't matter? Doesn't matter what I know, because my fucking shit's fucked up. Like, I'm so lucky. I'm just fucked up in my head, so I can't even enjoy it. So fucked up. It makes me so sad, dude. It's such a waste. I feel like this is some kind of like fucked up. It's like a joke. It's like somebody wished, you know, they're like, I wish that I would have like a really fun and dope life from a genie or something, you know, and then genies always fuck it up, so they're like, okay, but you're gonna like just hate yourself for no fucking reason the whole time. That's what it feels like. It doesn't matter what I do, I can't change it. All I can do is just take some drugs and subdue my fucking brain. That's all I got. Try to turn it off. Try to sleepwalk through and like catch the vibes that I can catch, you know. I think that's why I'm just always trying to smoke and drink, because it's like that's the kind of shit that I can feel good from. Just what a fucking waste, you know. Just somebody just like fucking in my head. I'm just in a corner in my head, just slitting myself, just fucking. Beating myself up for no fucking reason. I just feel like such a little bitch, you know, because it's not my personality to be like that. Like, it makes me so sad. I just know how much potential I have as a person. Like, I really, naturally, I'm like a strong person and like independent, like, you know. Like, I know I was built to be, like, different. Just not even special. Just like a soldier type person that just like gets shit done and like has like a family and is like strong for their family and like supports the people around them and like community and all that shit. Like I know I'm like built for that, but then just something in my head that just makes me a fucking loser. Just a whiny fucking loser. Just fucking crying all the time about how I'm not good enough for no fucking reason. That's the only thing that keeps me going is I just keep thinking like maybe one day I will figure something out and this life won't be a complete waste, you know? But just bothers me. There's like so many worse problems to have. That's the worst part of it is that it's just like I'm like everything's fine. Like I just like it's just like there's nothing apparently wrong. That's what makes me feel like a bitch. Is like if somebody was sticking fucking steel up my ass that's fucking pointy, I'd be like, okay, you have a real problem. But no, like my only problem in life, really, my only problem is that I just fucking like just hate myself for no fucking reason. Just fucking really, honestly, like all of the delusions, like all of the like hearing, seeing shit, all of that shit would not even really be a problem. It's actually just like the vicious cycle of me exalting myself and then having to fall from that over and over again. And it's like, maybe that's the thing, right? Like maybe this is actually like, maybe I've finally like fallen all the way down and maybe I won't climb back up this time. And maybe that's what's happening, you know? Like maybe I did figure it out and I don't realize yet. Like maybe I just need to feel like shit for a while and then I'll slowly just get used to this feeling. I think I just have an illusion of like what maybe other people are going through too. Like maybe, you know, I think maybe when I think of like what a dope person is, I think that they might feel a certain way in their head and maybe they don't. Maybe they just do dope shit and they feel shitty too. But that's what makes me feel like it's bullshit. Like, if it's all just what other people see, like, I just got fed so much bullshit. I really did. I just got fed that it was just like that there's a fucking magical person in the sky that loves you more than anybody, and everybody on earth is a fucking asshole, but if they're ever nice to you, it's because of God, and like, basically nobody gives a fuck about you, including your family. It's just, there's some real cult shit, you know? It's like the only thing that matters is this thing that you can't see. That's the worst part. Is that it's like you can't ever prove it's not real or real. And if you're schizophrenic, you definitely will like just hallucinate that shit. Some real cult shit. And then on top of that, like the only way for you to feel like your purpose is there, like that you matter, that you should have even ever been born, is that fucking shit. I think that's the problem though, is like maybe like I shouldn't be thinking that somebody should be born. I think I do have that. I never thought about that before, but I just said it out loud and I'm like, why should anybody be born? I'm trying to validate my existence, I guess. just like growing up, it's just always, it was always about like, you have to be a good person. You have to do these things. You have to do, it's always what you have to do. You have to be a certain type of way. So it's just never really even occurred to me that I don't need to be any type of way and I'm not invalid. But it's also like, what does it matter if I don't feel invalid? If like people still aren't gonna like me, you know? Like if I just start being myself, which I don't even know what that is, to be honest. I feel like myself is just a whiny bitch. So what am I gonna do, you know? Just like go what, you know? Just work at coffee shops until I'm old. And just drink beer, try to pass the time. That's what it feels like. That's why I wanted to do this show with you, because I was like, at least like my life will feel like more of something. I just really thought I could get around the bullshit, you know? I really thought that, like, this music shit was different than it is, you know? I just thought that I could, like, do something that was, like, entertaining and, like, really change people's, like, minds about shit and, like, really, like, shifted their perspective, and that they would, like, lift me up on a pedestal because I did that, and then when I'm on that pedestal, they can't hurt me, and they could just throw compliments and insults from far away, so like none of them really hit, you know? Preferably more confidence boosting shit. I think I just never realized like what it feels like to actually like, you know, like you get on that pedestal and you still feel the same, you know? That's what fucked me up, is like I'm not even saying we're on a crazy high pedestal. We just got on a pedestal and I was like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Because I thought I was going to change. I thought I was going to feel differently, and that like things were just going to like be better. And then just like as our pedestal raised up by millimeters, just like nothing, but like noticeable, I started to just be able to predict them. Like, when I'm this tall, it's still going to be the same. That's when I was really like, oh no, you know? Because, like, this was supposed to be, like, my saving grace thing. Like, this was supposed to be the thing that made me matter. It's just, like, that's really why I keep saying everything's bullshit. Because, like, really, I'm bullshit. Because my whole life I've invested into things that are on the surface cool, but not like on a deep level where I'm proud of it. Whatever I give a fuck about, like, I threw that shit out as soon as I could think. I don't, you know, like, I know I like making shit. I love taking things that were separate and making them together. I love that shit. I know that for a fact. But, like, I just really don't know. I just really don't know. Like, there's just such a mess in my head that's been created from me trying to fucking create this facade that, like, I can't even figure out. The truth is, I just can't think clear. I can't, like, once I'm around people, it's just like, I just, like, I'm like, what would they like? It's just, like, without it, I just can't fucking get past it. And if I feel like I fuck up what they might like, then their face starts fucking morphing and they don't like me, and I feel all this anxiety and I feel like they hate me. And I just have to tell myself it's not real. Like, I created all this, you know? Like, I chose this. I chose bullshit over substance. Which just makes me mad because I was just misguided. I was misguided. They didn't even think to tell me that shit, you know? Nobody thought to tell me that shit. It's just not something people really talk about either, you know? Like substance over. That's the thing is, like, my parents, I would tell them, like, that I felt ugly. And they'd be like, no, you're beautiful, you know? And it's like, that's not what I needed to hear. I needed to be told that shit does not matter, you know? There's so much emphasis on beauty, so much emphasis on, like, acting a certain way so that people, like, don't get offended by you. It's just so much emphasis on presentation. Just led to me being, like, hollow, just tortured on the inside, just being like, I've created myself into this person that I hate. But I can't stop because it just, I did it so early. I just don't know. The only way I've been able to stop myself is by going the complete opposite way. That's why I'm always just, like, fucking bipolar in that way, where it's like, I'm like, okay, I'm usually just sucking everybody's dick. So instead I'm going to be like, I fucking hate you all. You're all fucking pieces of shit. It's the only way I can, like, throw myself, you know? Just fully, like, abandon them. And it's just like, who fucking cares about a person like that? There's nothing. That's the thing, that I don't value me. Like, and I don't see why anybody would. That's the difference. It's like, I truly do have an opinion. Like, I've made myself into a person that I don't value. Like, who I actually am doesn't value it. And I was trying to use spirituality to get me out of that, you know? But then that broke too. And then now it's just me. And I'm sure that there's, like, tools and shit I could use to slowly crawl out of this hole. All for what? When I'm 60, maybe I'll be able to function as a normal person. But the reason that I say when I'm 60 is that means for the next 30 years, I have to feel the way I feel right now. And still function in society. I'm just a fucking whiner.
Who do you value?
Value you?
And you don't value you.
No. I value other people.
Like, what kind of person do you value?
Somebody who, like, is passionate, like, gets shit done. Somebody who, like, knows how to lead but doesn't, like, step over people. Somebody who's, like, good on a team. So there's, like, a lot of different kinds of people.
And you're none of that?
I know how to lead somewhat. No, I don't. That's the problem. It's like, I don't know how to delegate. I don't know how to lead. I think I lied to myself and said that was true for a long time, so that's why I just said that. But I recently realized that, like, a real leader is actually a team player that is pointing everybody in the right direction, who knows the plan. But for me, I will know the plan, but rather than delegate or participate in a unit, I will just start doing things. And if someone asks me what to do, I will tell them, but I will just do everything on my own and then get mad at them if they don't do anything. So I'm not a good leader. I think that I could be. I just don't.
So, is that something that you want to have, or do you think
no,
that...
I want to be a good team player because I feel like I kind of resent the idea of someone like me being a leader because I just feel like we've had enough leaders that have my personality. I'd rather be on a team and maybe help somebody else like you who isn't typically in the leader position because of them being so shy, but would be a real big asset, you know?
You're just doing that thing where you're saying something that I like or something?
No.
It's like,
No,
you don't
I
even
really
know
feel
that I
that way.
want that or not.
I really feel that way. I know you don't want to be a leader.
I don't...
You want to be on a team. You don't want to lead shit. I know that.
I'm just fine to do whatever. Like, if leading makes sense, then sometimes you have to do that. Like, I've done that.
But that's the best leader, is somebody who doesn't want to lead. That's why I don't want to lead.
Because you want to lead?
Because deep down, I know that my genetics, like to the genetic level, I am like...
Genetics be coming up a lot.
I just know that, like, I'm not the right one. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know that?
Yeah. The only reason I'm not the right one is because I was raised by somebody like that. Otherwise, I would be that. Do you understand? Like, the only reason, the thing that stopped me is that I hated somebody doing that so much.
Is that there's a part of you, primal, that wants to lead because the benefits of leading?
I didn't think about the benefits of leading. I just think that I tend to just be a controlling person. I think I, like, at my base, like, I want everyone to be doing what I want them to do. Like, not for the sake of, like, anything. Just, like, literally, like, I like it when
like what?
shit
What's
is
an
happening
example?
my way. Like, for instance, if there's a group of friends and we're all gonna go out tonight and I really want to go to this bar, I would prefer everybody to want to go to the bar that I want to go to. And if they don't want that, I don't like that. Just, that's my base. Like I'm selfish, really, is what it is.
But I mean, like, you could try your best to convince them of why it'd be really cool, and if they somehow have no thing against that, they'll be like, they might be able to see that.
Yeah.
Depending on how vivid the picture you give in the short amount of time that is available.
Yeah.
And if they don't, and like, maybe you would push them to give a vivid enough description to exactly why, not like something where you feel a dismissal so you don't even look into it. The truth is, like, maybe you're more curious about some of their things that you just consider a dismissal. Like, they'll be like, oh yeah, but da-da-da, I have 2 pennies in my wallet. And then you're just like, oh, I'm dismissed. Like, maybe you think about what their reason is, just like you would think about what your reason is enough to describe it to them.
It's interesting because you're right, but I think because I have that controlling aspect to me, like, I'm kind of afraid to let loose and do that because I think that my energy deep down is like, just do what I want. So, like, even if I do it exactly right, where I, like, am calmly, nicely telling them all the reasons that I want to go, at the end of the day, like, I could feel that kind of, like, demon, like, coming up and being like,
just do it.
Just do it, yeah. And, like, even if they never sense it, it's like, I don't want to even, like, fuck with that.
But is there a way that you have an emotional receptacle that if they were to describe in just as much detail as your imagination could provide why your idea is dope, if they could provide a equal counter imagination that helps you truly see what's going on in their mind,
yeah, like
that, you would actually be emotionally solved, and from any pang of, oh, they're not coming, you'd be like, oh, okay, that actually is exciting, equally exciting of an idea, and maybe for the reasons that I want to do this today will actually come true in that exact fashion later.
Right.
Or more thought giving you the aid to know whether or not it would never happen, and you realize, like, oh, maybe my idea was just eternally lofty.
No, that is the reason that I feel like I should not even mess with that kind of shit, is because
it requires communication.
If they could give me the greatest explanation, and I even emotionally would feel like, damn, that's dope for them, I would still have that twinge of like, they didn't want to do my thing.
Do you think that requires practice? It could help that? Because I believe that maybe some people are so far removed from having practice be able to fix that.
I've practiced that. My whole life I've been trying to be a people pleaser. I've been doing that. It's still there. It's still the twinge.
Are we talking about people pleasing?
When I say I want to do something and then somebody says, "Oh, I want to do my thing," and then I'm like, "Oh," and then you know what I mean?
So you've practiced as in you've tried different things?
I've let it go. You just let it go and you still have that twinge.
But that's not practice. That's just you doing the same fucking thing. You're practicing that one thing.
Yeah, that's practicing.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing over and over again.
But I feel like great practice has more to do with learning tricks and learning things. Like growing capabilities and mechanisms and patterns. Like practice isn't just, I don't know. I mean, I know that practice. Right. I know that practice is just
switch it up.
It has a lot to do with repetition and things like that. But I'm like,
no. But if you don't change it up, then it doesn't you're not ready for things to
I'm sure you've practiced.
It's been my whole life. Like I'm sure I've done multiple.
You've practiced
things.
receiving letdowns.
I've also practiced being pushy in certain scenarios. I've practiced manipulation tactics. I've practiced you know what I mean, different things.
You've tried. Practicing has to do with redundance, repetition.
I've done different things multiple times.
Yeah.
It's my whole life. It's been 30 years. I've definitely found time to do different things. I typically just let shit go unless I really am passionate about it. That's what a thing with us is that I do make the mistake of I let it go. And then eventually, when I finally really care about something, all of that disappointment of letting it go so many times does come out, and then I'm fighting tooth and nail. I think the point that I get from what you're saying though is just the idea of communicating to somebody why you want what you want. I definitely could practice that. I don't think I'm that good at communicating the reasons that I want.
And it might do a weird thing where it actually helps you know what you want even better than you ever knew. How, why, when, and where,
I think that makes me think of just art in general,
who, what, when, and where, why.
I feel like a lot of my art, my real art is doesn't really have a message. And I think I've always invalidated that in my head. I never said this, never thought about this before, but I've so many times that I want to do shit make that porn McDonald's video, and I'm just oh, it doesn't really go to one of our songs. Oh, it would just go on Pornhub. It's like I'm invalidating it. But at the end of the day, I wanted to see that video, Yeah. And I stopped myself from making it so many times because the idea of me doing it and you being not into it, just would just really hurt for some reason. It's a lot of that. I feel like I really haven't been creative in a while because I just. It's when I was doing Invina, I really had this I don't care if anybody cares thing, but it wasn't that. It was actually that I was fully not putting myself out there until a certain point. I really just kept it to myself, didn't expect anybody to. It's tricking myself into just making shit. It's really, if you really love something though, it's you shouldn't care. really do want to just get back to like creating for like the sake of creating. I think like the whole age thing is starting to get to me, you know. Started to finally think about like, man, am I just gonna be like working in cafes for the rest of my life? Like, am I just gonna be living in a van for the rest of my life? What's gonna happen when my teeth start falling out? What's gonna happen when like, my body starts falling apart? Like, I just really did have the illusion that like one day I would just like magically have money and that I would never have to like care about that. Just finally getting to this age and being like, alright dude, like it's just the whole money thing. It's just weird, like, thinking about, like, creating for no reason other than just I like it. Just feels frivolous. You know? Just like, if it's just for me, it's a lot of stuff I like, right? You know?
You do plenty of shit for you. You aren't guilty about that.
I know.
You fucking smoke a billion cigarettes for you, and there's one like thing that you'd be recording, showing other people, like, and now you're guilty about that. It's not real. There's no way you could be guilty about that.
That's a really good point.
You're like, oh, I'm taking up money and time to do something for me.
When I do that with cigarettes.
You do that with everything else.
Yeah.
So that can't be it. That's just a label on it. Unless you just got your wires crossed. Maybe it's just that you got your wires crossed.
No. I think it is something to do with like just the idea of people rejecting it. It kind of does stop me from wanting to do it.
Me rejecting it.
Yeah. It is people in general. You just happen to be the block.
How do people in general reject it? Comment sections? You haven't put out a thing that really gets rejected yet.
Yeah, it's just you.
Not in a long time.
Not in a long time, but it has happened. I'm just saying it is a people thing. It's not just you.
Sure, all right. I mean, but if there's any higher percentage that you could knock out in order for you to actually...
Trust me, if I made something and then just posted it on our Instagram, not only would you give me shit, but then they would probably, like, not even fucking fuck with it. They'd just be like, whoa, okay.
You want to go solo, right? You want to make something on your own?
No, I wish we could work together.
Which is like, there's some solo shit you want to do. It's just like... But you want the platform of what we've made together.
No.
I just don't understand.
No, I was saying I want to create for me. I didn't even consider doing it with you because our fucking creation process is so broken right now.
That's your opinion.
Yeah. And it's true.
Nah, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
As soon as
because
you just...
I can't participate because I'm afraid you're going to reject me.
I haven't changed my process with you.
Uh-huh.
I've always been open to you, and I've been...
Yeah, but you're also fucking very cutthroat.
It's just, the thing is, when you say I'm cutthroat, it makes me think like I just started being cutthroat.
No, you've been cutthroat. You've always been cutthroat.
And it's worked.
Actually, no, you haven't always been cutthroat. In the beginning of me and you working together, you weren't. And then after a certain point...
This is the only thing about... The only thing about how this will never solve itself is that this is based on words. And then the words are supposed to be based on real things that happen.
They are real.
But the words are describing...
Don't you realize what just happened when we were trying to film a music video? It's exactly what just happened.
But did it happen the last time we tried to do a video? See, what I'm trying to describe to you is that some are good days and some are bad days. And it always seems like on the bad days you try to describe that all of our recent days have been bad days. and I don't find that to be true. So then we go on a long ventilation, something that won't solve the issue, which is that some are bad days, and what to do on bad days is really what we should be discussing. Not that all of our days have been bad and we should do an ultimatum of us dying or not dying.
It's not about us dying. It's about fixing the
so
problem.
So then every future bad day, we could look forward to just discussing about how things have been bad, rather than getting better and better perpetually, which requires memory, which is what the words are based on. A memory that you have, that I'm cutthroat now more than ever. It wasn't very cutthroat of me what I did in that alley.
When I just said all that shit when I was walking backwards, I was like channeling and revealing my soul.
What was so cutthroat about me?
And
should I not stick to a point?
Something's not right. And you didn't give me any.
It wasn't about what you said. It wasn't about what you said.
I know, but you didn't give me any positive affirmation. So for me, it's just like, okay, that was boring to you. Like, I'm just making up shit. I'm like, that was boring. That wasn't good enough for other people. I was just describing, is this a music video? Because we could use the words. Because for a music video's perspective, all I see is like, you know, the hand movement. For me, like when you're creating, it's like the joy of bringing forth
the things. Problem is I wasn't in a good mood.
Joy,
the problem is that you were mad we weren't getting beer.
I wasn't mad we weren't getting beer.
And that upset me.
I let it go.
And that's what was going into that music video.
Okay.
There was like a couple arguments before we even got to that point.
Yeah, you're right.
And all of a sudden, I'm cutthroat now.
You are cutthroat. You are.
Describe it.
You judge art harshly. You have a high standard for art.
I judge your art harshly?
You judge everybody's art harshly.
Whose? Harsh. You're reserving the word harsh for me, the way I judge art.
Yes.
I judge it harshly.
I notice that when I see art, I tend to take
bullshit.
More from it than you do. You tend to just dismiss it a lot of times. It's a lot of art that you just dismiss.
I dismiss it.
Yes.
You're talking about when I told you that I didn't look at that wall?
No, I'm not talking about that, although that is an example.
No, that's not an example.
Yeah, it is.
I told you there was someone with paint cans right there that I was trying not to look at the paint cans. So I wasn't looking at the wall. I wasn't even looking in that direction. Okay. Irrational or not, it's not an example.
You're still cutthroat about art. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know how to give you an example. Like, if I was like,
I'd be cutthroat about it.
You're thinking about every melody.
You don't know what I'm thinking. You don't know what I'm thinking.
You're like, I've heard
That's
half
of
wrong. That somewhere. She's off tune there.
You have an imagination of what I am, not how I'm acting. If I was cutthroat about art, I wouldn't invite all the art that I invite. I wouldn't have a prescription for all of where the art could go to. I wouldn't have collabed as much as I do. I wouldn't have
You've collabed.
Wouldn't even be doing this shit.
Dude, think about this. The fucking the collab that we did with fucking
This is hurtful to me. So I hope you're getting something from this. If this is helping us, then I want to do this.
Okay. Fuck the you're cutthroat thing. All right?
Because it's just so not true.
Okay.
Because when you say cutthroat, let me express to you what I feel like you mean when you say that. It means that I'm one of those people who's like, yeah, I don't really fuck with that. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't think that is that's not good enough. That's not good enough. I don't think that even you should quit. Oh, they should quit. Oh, these people shouldn't even be doing this. Oh, like those people should quit. That shouldn't even exist. Oh, yeah, that is like, if something's pretty good, me not acknowledging that it's good. If something's like, if something's good, and then I'm like, oh, but it's not great.
You don't do that.
I'm like, it's not great, so it doesn't count. That's cutthroat.
Yeah, no, okay, I didn't mean that. I don't know.
I'm like, if something's bad, I bring up that it's bad. And there's nothing about it. I'll just bring up that it's bad. I'm like, it's useless.
Okay, because I represent you, you've been hard on me. How about that? Am I allowed to say that?
Okay.
Is it true?
Sure. It's hard to hear that I'm hard on you. Like, I'm like, wow, this is news to me.
I just definitely...
And now what?
I don't know. I just don't feel good enough, so then it stops me from wanting to create with you. Which is not good that I do that. That's not a good response.
I mean, the only receipt I have, like, that's true. Like, should I sit in that? Let's sit in that.
Thank you for saying that's true. You go ahead.
I thought I already did. I have to say the sentence, that's true. Like, I thought I fucking did that already. I thought I was like, yeah, okay.
I said, thank you for saying that, and then you could go ahead. You're the one who said, let's sit in it. And I said, thank you for saying that, let's go ahead.
Is sitting in it going ahead?
I'm saying we don't have to sit in it. That's what that means. I'm like, I appreciate that.
I don't think you understand why I was saying the thing I just said right now. So let's just let that go. It was an autism thing that you just don't understand how to participate in, so... Yeah, my only receipt is that because of the built-up trauma from you, it spurs me to reject your idea even more so because I know that your idea is based on trauma of me rejecting it. So this becomes a game. It becomes a story. It's a very storied process. So you'll bring up an idea, and I could already tell you're bringing up an idea that is framed around the trauma of an idea not having worked. But it seems so misinformed of why it didn't work before that the direction you went in is even worse than before, in my opinion. So that is a big part of where I become hard on you, because I'm like, what are you doing right now? I feel like this is no longer you free, vulnerable art anymore at those times. And I'm specific about the times, because it's not even all the time.
That makes sense.
I feel like it's just something that's curdled and become too complex. Like, I think a lot of our process has to do, from both of our perspectives simultaneously, both your art and my critique are based on this, like, history. And it hasn't been everything. There's a lot of new methods that we bypass any of that trauma.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we have a new shit. That's kind of why our process has changed. Our process keeps changing. And that's actually the basis for us even continuing to keep going, because then we could get past the whole trauma of all of it. Things going differently actually allows us to no longer have the fucking ill feelings, and it's starting to look a certain way, and then we start to freeze up. For instance, we started in Dems in 2015, me recording you on a mic with a boom stand where you just stood there, right? And there was trauma by the time we got to a certain place in like April or May. April, you were over it. I was the one solely recording my vocals. I recorded the vocals to the self-titled by the time we moved to Santa Cruz the following month in May. I had started doing shit on my own. You were over it. And the renaissance was that we were in a different place, and that I had started something that had less of your, like, need. Your ownership was away from it. And it was just different. And then we kind of started again. And then we went on to Vantana Row 2. You didn't even want to scream anymore. Like, not even that you wanted to sing, but that you just didn't want to scream. And then you, like, fucking, like, committed suicide in Reno when we moved to Reno after Santa Cruz. And then there was kind of a renaissance there where it's like you made kind of a suicide EP. And it always has to be something kind of different. So then we kind of built on that, and then maybe there was a streak there up until around like summer of 2016 where you were just fucking over it. I was dragging you. And we had this whole period where you were fucking over it, and I really wanted you to rap. And then that was a renaissance. And then the rapping thing went for a little while. You know what I mean?
From what you're saying, it's just making me think that, like, I get bored of shit.
You get bored, you know? You get bitter. Like, fairly, you know? Not normally, but fairly. You know what I mean? Because it is kind of this passive thing. I think other people that aren't like you have a different pattern. There's no normality. There's no such thing. But it's just other people that I'm used to working with, they have an objective that does grow, and then if it intertwines with my shit for the duration that it does, it does. But it's an active thing, not a passive thing. Like, they're aware of the collaboration and its ever-changing nature and where it is, the coordinates that it is between me and them, and what, you know, where it's headed. And that's kind of a passive part for you. It's this kind of thing where it seems to come as a surprise to you, and then, like, your description that causes the change of action is never the description of what's really happening. It's just kind of like an abstract way that you're feeling due to reasons that are unrelated to what's directly happening, and it causes a change. But that change is never described by you in word. It's just, it happens. And then the reconciliation is never described by you. It's just your feelings being described. And then if I accept it, then we start again. But someone else, it seems like either they're more aware of what's happening or they're more capable of describing it.
I think it's funny because now that I'm thinking about
or
it,
willing
the
to
change
describe
up
it.
thing that I seem to desire a change up. But I think I wouldn't feel that way as much if I felt more in control. And I think I give up the control, my part of the control, because of the thing that we were talking about earlier with me. Like, I'll have an idea, and then you'll be like the fucking bar example. Like, I want to go to this bar, and then the other friends don't. And then I just like, oh, okay. And then I'm kind of bummed. And it's like, with my creativity comes from a place of like emotions. So it's like, as soon as the bummed happens, I don't feel creative anymore.
Oh, there's something in that bag. I was gonna throw it away.
It's my makeup. I was just saying that I don't feel like I would actually be like desiring those change ups as much if I felt like, if I was more participatory. Like,
it's the thing that happens. Like, this is one way that it could go that could fix everything. You try something again, but you narrate what you think is happening in real time to the best of your ability. So when I say something and you feel like something just happened, where I just said something for a reason, you narrate that in real time. Because what happens is you and I lose touch over time. And it collects in so much depth that we cannot come back from it. To the point that you're convinced that I'm absolutely dishonest in like the way I'm saying, because once I explain the last thing, but the last 5 things are actually your building up hypothesis of what's going on.
yeah,
Like, you're like, there's no way that could be.
right.
When you don't actually even give me a chance to explain those 5 things. You don't even bring that up. It's just the last thing.
Yeah.
What's good? Soldiers on call.
What happened?
We're wondering what's happening. You're the leader.
I got this gig. I got those people to do my bus for 500.
Okay,
Right.
let's get this shit out of here then.
No.
That shit's gonna fall over anyway. I was afraid you guys were
No,
gonna
I'm
drive
gonna
it.
take it out, but I don't have to do it now. You want to play music?
Hell yes. What? Hell
You
yes.
set it up. We're gonna play music.
Oh my God.
As long as you want. For
When's the
now.
last time you recorded a full-length album in 2 hours?
No, we can't do that.
All right. Oh,
Maybe you wanna.
hey, you're limiting my
I gotta
capability.
work. I got.
You're right. I know
in
it.
2
I know.
fucking hours. I gotta work for my other boss tomorrow morning at fucking 9 o'clock. I gotta stay out till 5 in the morning with these fucking people to get $500. I gotta pick them up at 8 o'clock. Have them in Hollywood at 9. I gotta go way down South Kendall and pick them up. Then I gotta drive them all the way to fucking Broward. Then I gotta sit there for 6 fucking hours while they fucking do their party. They send me $300. They booked me and I raised the price to $500. She said, okay. I go, you last minute, you're fucking up my whole weekend. I waited a year for artbasel. Now for me to leave Miami tonight, it's gonna cost you $500.
Dope.
So there's only 20 people. There's 20 fucking heads in my bus. So right now, everybody's pulling on me. My daughter needs something.
All right. Well, I broke out that brand new 20-inch Zildjian Custom, so I'm gonna put that back away.
No, leave it right there, dude. I'm not moving the bus right now. Relax.
All right. It would kill me if it fell over.
I'm doing business. I got her 300 in my bank. I get money. If I stay home, if I go out and try to fuck around, I can't make money. That's why I'm staying.
I know
here.
it.
I already got 3 bills in the bank. I already got work for tomorrow. He called me. I got to go to work till 1 p.m. tomorrow. Got to work from 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 4 hours. $200, man. I'm making a game. I'm in
It's
the game.
gone.
I got money coming in.
It's
Like,
gone.
the lady just sent me her money. It's nice and cool out. What's going on, man? It's like, man, did you guys go down there?
We didn't go down
We
to
took
where
a
it was
spirit
going
walk.
down.
Didn't do much.
Yeah.
We walked down the street and saw a bunch of fucking people. I don't know. I didn't do shit. I just sat there and willed money and it came.
There you go.
Here she is again. Hello?
All right. Do you have a close for this? This has been like filming for like 57 minutes.
So, good talk.
Look, I want to be creative again with you. I mean, like, you brought up the cunt thing. I want to do the cunty samples. It's like,
I really want to do that.
so like, it just hurts me. It's just like, dude, I just don't, I feel like I'm more flexible.
This has nothing to do with you.
You are making it like I'm cutthroat.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more flexible than the way you're making it.
You talk harsh. You don't give enough affirmations. That doesn't bother most people.
I'll work on that.
It's me.
No,
I literally have a rejection issue.
I'll
Like,
work
if
on that.
somebody frowns
But I just
at
don't want
me,
that to
I have
lead down a
issues.
road where, like, I have to lie to you.
It's about how you say. I'm going to teach you about manipulation. I'm going to teach you about it. You could say the exact same thing 2 different ways. Be like, hey, you're really fucking this up right now. You'd be like, hey, I noticed that.
You need me to talk like that, right?
It would
Well,
help. It would help.
I'll work on it, okay?
As training wheels.
I feel like there's probably a way that I can talk where it's not exactly corny like that.
Yeah, you don't have to be corny.
Like some
It's just
straight up,
like you
just
give
that
the love.
type
Like,
of LA fucking shit.
So we got to do what we're going to do. You want to jam for a little bit? Have
Just a
some
little
fun,
bit, yeah, sure.
Smoke a joint. We'll go under the bridge, making some noise.
Oh shit.
And then we'll just take this stuff out.
Yep.
And then I got to put those couches
All
back
right.
in. And then the bus will be ready to go for 8 o'clock. You guys
Sounds
can
like
go
a
with me
deal.
if you want.